Welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett, and we are here to check out the first premium game piece for Wizkids, Dungeons & Dragons Attack Wing. This one is Tiamat. Dungeons & Dragons Attack Wing is a miniature game from Wizkids, and basically pre-painted miniatures where you build an army and then battle out against your opponents, usually in a scenario. So in this game, what they've got going is what's known as organized play. So every month you go to your game store, maybe every couple of weeks you go to your game store, and you play in these scenarios, and you can win all sorts of prizes. Usually it's small dragons, there's some other cool items coming up, but after the 6 various scenarios are eventually played, most stores should have a grand prize of this figure right here, Tiamat. What Wizkids is also doing is allowed stores to purchase some Tiamats to sell to customers. So that's how we got this one here. Huge fan of the game. Really enjoyable. So first up, we're going to see what the Rise of Tiamat book from Dungeons & Dragons put out by Wizards of the Coast has to say about Tiamat herself. First, chaotic evil, gargantuan fiend, really tough. Immune to acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing from non-magical weapons. When Tiamat drops to 0 hit points or dies, her body is destroyed, but her essence travels back to her domain, the Nine Hells, and she is unable to take physical form for a time. Don't know if that will be in the character's stats. Can innately cast Divine Word, so we have a spellcaster, legendary resistance. If Tiamat fails a saving throw, she can choose to succeed instead. Unless she wishes to be affected, Tiamat is immune to spells of 6 level or lower. She has advantage on saving throws against other spells and magical weapons. Tiamat's weapons attack are magical. Multiple heads. Tiamat can take 1 reaction per turn rather than only 1 per round. She also has advantage on saving throws against being knocked unconscious. She can regenerate. Multi-attack, can use Frightful Presence. She then makes 3 attacks, 2 with her claws, 1 with the tail. Claws, tail attack. Let's see here. Frightful Presence. Legendary action. She's got Bite. Black Dragon Head gives Acid Breath. Blue Dragon Head gives her Lightning Breath. Green Dragon Head is Poison Breath. Red Dragon Head is Fire Breath. And White Dragon, Cold Breath. So let's see how the miniature Attack Wing version of Tiamat holds up to the role-playing game version of the character. So the organized play is based off of the current plot line that's kind of wrapping up for Dungeons & Dragons, the Tyranny of Dragons. Dungeons & Dragons, then you have new plot, new story called Elemental Evil, and Attack Wing will eventually follow up and have its own spin on Elemental Evil, which I'm really looking forward to. First and foremost, let's check out the figure. The figure's massive, so it really is a giant figure, as we should expect. I do this so you can actually see the figure. We need to get all this off to show the figure. So Attack Wing is one game that I am regularly playing at my local game store, and each month I look forward to the gameplay that's going on. So we've got a massive figure. Got a little bit of weight to it. I love the sculpt. Really cool. It's a giant figure. Some great coloring on it. This one's done really well. Where the heads go in are kind of a little and the joints are a little but it's a really big, giant plastic figure. Very cool. Digging it. Let's see what else you get. course, there's the really cool art in the back of the box, or in the box period. Let's put Tiamat on her base. So they have a special peg and a special base just for her. Well, that's not easy to do. So some figures, it's a little bit easier to get things like the bases on than others, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. So let's throw her on her stand and get her all set up. So let's see what you get with the figure. You get a whole bunch of cards. Let's first look at some stats for Tiamat. I'm going to organize the cards a little bit. So movement, Tiamat's actually not that fast. She's only got a 4 forward, not a whole lot of red, which is pretty good, and some decent banking when it comes to white. So she's not super maneuverable, but with a base like that, I don't know if you need to. On ground, really not maneuverable, but dragons tend not to be when they're on ground. So Tiamat is a whopping 84 points. We're not looking at any generic version. She's a chromatic dragon god, 6 attacks, no defense, interesting enough, 10 life, 3 shields. Instead of attacking normally, Tiamat may make 2 bites. If she does so, she rolls -2 attack dice during each round. Potentially you can get 8 attacks total, 3 distance forward, 3 back for the melee forward and melee back. And you can give her 3 dragon upgrades, the spell and divine spell and the arcane spell. Level 20 and has all those lovely colors. So it comes with her own reference card. So for card text purposes, Tiamat is considered a red dragon, blue dragon, green dragon, black dragon, white dragon, and an ancient dragon. She's also considered to have a large base. During setup for 2 players, Tiamat can be placed anywhere within range 1 to 3 of her starting edge instead of normal 1 to 2. The crush upgrade is considered an area attack when used against troops. So let's see what we get for spells. We have a cost of 5, range 2. Power word kill, attack, discard this upgrade, and spend your target token to inflict 2 normal damage against 1 creature at range 1 to 2 in your forward arc. The target does not roll defense dice. This attack penetrates armor. If the creature receives lethal damage from this attack, remove it from play immediately. That's a pretty big deal. It's level 17 and up. The remove from play immediately is a pretty big deal in this game. That means no attack blows back. Cost 5, regenerate. At the start of the end phase, the affected creature may choose to remove 1 face-down damage card or flip 1 face-up damage card face-down. When this effect ends for any reason, discard this card. So as we said in the flavor, she has the ability to heal herself, which was part of the flavor text for the character. So that's how you're seeing it there with that divine or that regenerate divine spell. As far as abilities, we have Fire Breath, Lightning Breath, Poison Breath, Cold Breath, Acid Breath, all attacks that we've seen before. So she can take 3 out of those. She also has a Poison Tail. You may equip the Deadly Venom upgrade as if it were a dragon upgrade. Disable this upgrade to make a primary weapon a tail attack against a creature at range 1 to 3 in your rear arc. Roll +1 attack die during this attack. This attack is considered a poison attack, must be Tiamat to equip. We have Crush, which will come to last because Crush is kind of badass. We got Queen of the Evil Dragons. Your breath weapon upgrades do not count against the total number of dragon upgrades that you can equip. There we go. So we can give Tiamat that for 5. and then all those breath weapons. And then finally, Crush. After you move, if you're in the air and your creature base overlaps one or more creature bases that are smaller than yours, you may discard this upgrade to crush those creatures, ignoring all creatures of your size or larger. You and the crushed creatures must remove your altitude tokens, receive ground tokens, and then cannot change altitude again for the rest of the round. Make a 5 dice attack against each creature that you crush, and then move your base forward or backward along the top of your template until it no longer overlaps another creature. You may still attack normally during the combat phase. So not only do you basically go and slam under the ground, you then can attack normally. So since she can take every single card, so we are looking at 16 points, which puts her with the 84 at an even 100. All of these would be the primary attack. So 6, 12, 18, 24, another 30. Because this is the dragon's primary weapon value, is all the cost for these. Is the primary weapon. Primary weapon is 6 here, so that's another 30 points. We're looking at 130, 140 points total for Tiamat to do everything there is. So you get a pretty badass dragon, the first dragon of its size to come into the game. And tokens and stuff like that, you actually don't get a whole lot that's crazy here. It's a lot of the expected. Of course, you get the movement dials, and the normal stuff like like you see here, and some of the stuff obviously fell out. Not that big a deal. So really, really cool. The thing to keep in mind, you might be able to win Tiamat if you play through all 6 months of, depending on your store. My store plays it that you have to play at least half of them. Month 6, you have a chance of probably winning Tiamat at your local store for your organized play, so you don't necessarily have to buy the figure. You could possibly win the figure. I'm pretty convinced I probably won't win the figure, so I just outright and bought the figure while I could. So the figure is retailing for $79.99. You can find it cheaper in some stores or online. Overall, really, really cool. Not sure how much gameplay you're going to look. Most games are about 120 points. Right now, we're at 140 points above that. So, unless you're playing like a 200-point game, it's going to be kind of hard to get Tiamat in there for the fun of it. And you can't use the figure in organized play until everything is over. So next organized play, technically you'll be able to use Tiamat, though I'm not sure if you're going to want to. Overall, really, really cool figure. It's great to see a new size and really just such a badass figure come to it. I think it's a great sculpt. The heads are really, really cool. I'm digging it. I'm going to have to go get in some fun games to just see how she does in Attack Wing. So hopefully report back and let you know. Until next time, this is Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett. You can catch us every single day at graphicpolicy.com. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all at Graphic Policy. We keep it nice and consistent. Until next time, keep on rolling dice and keep on geeking.